Elsa, I've been seeing a lot of posts about life and spirituality, so to speak. And one of the things that I think that we forget is that our way of life revolves around a balance. And it's a balance of the physical as well as the spiritual. And sometimes we can get so caught up in the politics, money, jobs. We can get so caught up into that we kind of forget the most important thing to us, and that's really our spirituality. It's what we really thrive for, because this life is only a fleeting moment. We're here today, gone tomorrow. But our essence lives on. And one of the things that we learn from the mythology, especially the myths of the god Wotan and the god Balder, is that they welcomed death. They welcomed it because they knew that there was a greater purpose. There was something greater than the physical aspects that we find ourselves in. And when we study the myth, we learn that Balder knew that his death was going to come, but he welcomed it. He welcomed it to the point that he showed up basically for his own death. But what we learn is that by Balder accepting death, he accepted one of the greatest gifts that could be bestowed upon a god, and that was when the god Wotan, Thor, Tyr, when all of them die in battle, Balder would rise to become the supreme god. And when we look at that mythology and we really study it, what we learn is that Balder was willing to sacrifice the physical aspects and everything with it to embrace that which was greater. But that could only come at his death. Now, some might wonder, what do I mean by this? Well, it's kind of simple, but then again, it's kind of perplexed. Because in order for us to become who we really are meant to be, what our essence is, we have to first be able to embrace the fact that death is going to come to all of us. No matter how much we work out, no matter how much we try to prolong it, there's two things in life that we're granted of. And the first one we've already been given, and that is birth. And the second one will be death. And it's up to us on how will we embrace it, meaning the death. How will we embrace it? And when I refer to death, I'm not even referring to the physical aspects of knowing that we're going to leave this world and leave everybody else behind, that our loved ones will miss us. I'm referring to embracing that belief that we were only advancing one step further on the ladder upwards. Some can call it reincarnation, whichever terminology one wants to use. We know that the physical life is but a fleeting moment. But it's how we live our physical life that determines on how we will accept the physical death. If we're Wotanist, Asatru, or Odinism, whatever a person wants to label themselves as, one of the things or at least the first thing that we should have known, is that our physical life will have to struggle. But it will have to struggle because our essence is using, or that which makes us who we are, is using the physical aspects, using the physical body in order to grow. And once it has reached the point that the physical body no longer becomes use, it no longer serves its purpose, then the essence, or that which what makes us, will leave it. And this is one of the things that is meant that when the god Wotan sacrificed himself to himself, he was willing to give up everything that he knew in the physical realm in order to gain knowledge, in order to gain his position or his role and what it was he was supposed to be. The same thing with Balder. Balder was willing to give up his physical self in order to become or to reach his highest potential. And this is a stage that many of us are striving to reach. So my point to all this is, learn to create the balance between the physical and the spiritual, but understand that the spiritual is more important. The spiritual, or the essence of what makes us who we are, will live on, and it will progress to the point that it is supposed to reach. So with that said, let us think about creating the balance, but not only creating the balance, but focusing more on the spiritual aspects of becoming closer to the gods, overcoming our earthly, you could call it desires, or our earthly chains. And only when we overcome our earthly chains will we completely understand who it is that we were meant to be. And that is when I believe that we soar with the gods, is when the earthly no longer matters. Granted, we have to live within this life, but spiritually, we don't have to be a part of it. With that said, I hope that this video allows people an opportunity, or gives people an opportunity to think. As always, hold that hammer heathen high and fuck their world. Hell so.